Airports have a strange energy. Part chaos, part destiny. The echo of announcements, the rush of people dragging suitcases, and the flicker of emotions on every face. Among them was Maya Thompson, a 27-year-old freelance artist who had just returned from a 2-week trip to Italy, carrying dreams heavier than her luggage. Her flight had been delayed, her phone was almost dead, and her heart was heavy with worry. She had spent her last savings on the trip, hoping to find inspiration to rebuild her art career after losing her studio to a fire 6 months ago. When she finally reached the baggage carousel, exhaustion washed over her. 2 identical black suitcases circled endlessly, both with a red tag. She grabbed one, barely glancing at the name. As she left the airport and stepped into the rain, she didn't realize that she had just taken a turn her life could never reverse. Hours later, inside her small apartment, Maya unzipped the suitcase, and froze. Inside weren't her clothes or sketchbooks, but stacks of files, a silver laptop, and a folder marked, Confidential, Aurum Tech Industries. There was also a watch that looked far too expensive for an ordinary traveler. Panic jolted through her. She searched for a name tag, and there it was. Ethan Cole, CEO, Aurum Tech Industries. Maya gasped. She had heard of him. The youngest self-made tech billionaire in the city, known for his cold, calculated business mind, and the man who had just bought half the city's startups. She felt sick. I'm in trouble, she whispered to herself. Before she could decide what to do, her phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. Greater than unknown. You have something that belongs to me. I'd advise you to return it immediately. Her throat went dry. He knew. Across the city, in a glass tower office overlooking the skyline, Ethan Cole sat in silence. His assistant stood nervously nearby. Find her, Ethan said calmly, though his jaw was tense. That suitcase has the only copy of our merger documents. If it leaks, the deal is gone. But it wasn't just business. Inside that suitcase was also something deeply personal. A handwritten letter he'd been carrying for years. A letter he'd written to his late fiancée, never sent, never shown to anyone. It was his anchor, his secret wound. He had been waiting years for a sign, something, anything, to pull him out of the emptiness his success couldn't fill. And fate had chosen Maya to bring that sign. The next morning, Maya dressed quickly and took a cab to the Aurum Tech headquarters. Her heart pounded as she walked through the sleek lobby, clutching the suitcase. But when she reached the reception, security stopped her. Do you have an appointment? No, but I need to return this to Mr. Ethan Cole. It's urgent. They exchanged skeptical glances. You can't see him without an appointment. Frustrated, she waited in the lobby for over an hour, until finally, the elevator opened, and there he was. Tall, sharp-suited, with eyes that looked like they could see through glass and truth alike. Miss Thompson, he asked, his voice calm but cold. Yes, I'm so sorry, Mr. Cole. I picked up your luggage by mistake. You opened it. Maya froze. I didn't mean to. Of course, you didn't. His tone was cutting. Do you realize what was inside that bag? Sensitive company files, private information. I didn't read anything, she protested. I just panicked. I wanted to return it. Ethan studied her. Something in her trembling hands, her nervous sincerity, made him pause. She wasn't lying. He exhaled, taking the suitcase. You should be more careful next time. She nodded, humiliated, but as she turned to leave, something fell from her bag, a small sketchbook. Ethan picked it up before she could. The pages were filled with stunning pencil portraits, moments of pain, beauty, and loss. One sketch caught his eye, a woman's face, delicate and warm, smiling through tears. That's my sister, Maya murmured. She passed away last year. Something shifted in Ethan's eyes. For the first time, his voice softened. You're very talented. She smiled weakly. Talent doesn't pay rent. That night, back in his penthouse, Ethan couldn't stop thinking about her words. He had all the wealth in the world, yet none of it meant anything. And here was a woman with nothing, still creating beauty from ashes. He opened his suitcase and found something strange, a small watercolor painting tucked between the files. It wasn't his. It must have been hers, mixed up when she opened it. The painting showed a sunrise breaking through storm clouds. At the bottom, it said, "Sometimes, we lose what we think we need, to find what we're meant for." Ethan stared at it for a long time. For the first time in years, he smiled. He didn't know it yet, but that painting, and the woman who painted it, were about to change everything. A week passed. Maya thought the incident was behind her, but then came the call. "Greater than, Miss Thompson, Mr. Cole would like to see you again. He says it's about your art." Maya was stunned. The CEO she'd accidentally crossed paths with, wanted to see her. When she entered his office this time, Ethan wasn't behind the desk. He was standing by the window, holding her painting. "I've been thinking," he said without turning around. "You have a gift, and I need someone with your vision." "My vision." He turned, eyes bright. Aurum Tech is opening a new foundation, supporting young artists, creators, people who've lost hope. I want you to help me design its visual identity. You'll be paid well, of course. Maya's lips parted in disbelief. "You're serious?" "I don't make jokes about work." Her heart swelled with a strange mix of joy and disbelief. I don't know what to say." "Say yes," he said simply. And she did. Over the next few months, they worked together closely. Ethan found himself laughing again, smiling at her messy desk full of paints and sketches. Maya found herself admiring his focus and the warmth he tried so hard to hide. He taught her how to believe in structure. She taught him how to believe in chaos, in beauty born from mistakes. Their worlds began to merge in ways neither had expected. One evening, after a long day at the foundation site, a thunderstorm trapped them in the office. Power flickered out. In the soft glow of emergency lights, Ethan looked at her and said quietly, "You know, I used to think losing everything was the end. But maybe it's just life's way of clearing space for something better." Maya smiled. "Maybe. Like taking the wrong luggage at the airport." He chuckled. "Yeah, maybe exactly like that." There was a silence, deep and warm. Then he said, "That letter you might have seen in the suitcase, it was for someone I lost. I never thought I'd feel anything again after her. But now," Maya looked at him gently. "Now what?" "Now I think she sent you to remind me what living feels like." She didn't speak. She didn't need to. The thunder rolled outside, and in that quiet moment, two broken souls found a flicker of peace. Months later, at the grand opening of the Aurum Art Foundation, Maya stood beside Ethan on stage. Cameras flashed, the audience applauded, and her artwork, the sunrise painting, hung proudly behind them as the symbol of new beginnings. Ethan took the microphone. "Sometimes," he said, "the wrong turn, the wrong moment, the wrong suitcase, leads us to exactly where we're meant to be." He looked at Maya with gratitude that words couldn't hold. And as the crowd cheered, she whispered to him, "Guess you finally found your miracle." He smiled. "No, Maya, she found me." As the story closed on screen, soft piano music faded in. Life doesn't always go as planned. Sometimes mistakes lead us to miracles. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories, where destiny, love, and faith meet at the crossroads of life. Your next miracle might just be one story away. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and stay connected for most emotional and powerful stories. Love you all, revolving hearts.